Cameras have come a long way, yet many creators still struggle to find one device that excels at both photos and videos. Enter the Panasonic S5R. This rumoured camera might just bridge that gap. It's said to offer high-resolution video capabilities that rival professional gear. But there's more to this camera than just impressive numbers. Let's see what more this S5R might offer for content creators. Let's talk about Panasonic's latest cameras. They've been making some impressive machines lately. The Lumix S5, GH6 and S1H have set new standards for people who love taking both photos and videos. These cameras are special because they're good at both jobs. Take the S5 for example. It's a full-frame camera, which means it has a big sensor, but it comes in a small body. This makes it easy to carry around while still getting great image quality. Each of these cameras is made for different people. What makes these cameras stand out? Well, they all have big sensors that capture a lot of light. They can record very high-quality videos, and they have smart systems that help keep your shots in focus. But Panasonic isn't stopping there. There's a rumour circulating that they're working on something new, the S5R. Now, let's get into what we've been hearing about the S5R. People are saying it's going to have a new kind of sensor that works really well when there's not much light. This could be great for shooting at night or indoors without needing extra lights. But the really big news is about video. The S5R might be able to record 8K video. That's incredibly detailed, about 4 times more detailed than 4K, which is already very sharp. It could record this 8K video at 30 frames per second, which means the motion would look smooth. There's more to the video capabilities though. The S5R might also offer 5K recording in what's called Super 35 mode. This is a slightly smaller area of the sensor, but it can still produce beautiful images. In this mode, you might be able to shoot in a 4:3 shape at 48 frames per second, or in a wider 16:9 ratio at 60 frames per second. These options give you more ways to be creative with your videos. For those times when you need to capture fast action, there's talk of a 4K mode that can shoot at 96 frames per second. This would let you create smooth slow motion footage. Some people are even saying you might be able to shoot 4K at 120 frames per second if you're okay with the image being cropped a bit. All of these options put the S5R in the same league as some very expensive professional video cameras. This is exciting because it means more people might be able to create high-quality videos without needing to spend a fortune on equipment. Let's move on to something that might sound a bit technical, but it's really important for making your videos look great. We're talking about codecs. These are the ways the camera records video information. The S5R is expected to have some very advanced codecs. Why does this matter? Well, these codecs allow you to capture more color information. This means when you're editing your video later, you have more control over how the final image looks. Now, let's talk about something really fun. Slow motion. The S5R might be able to shoot very high quality slow motion video. We mentioned earlier that it might shoot 4K at 120 frames per second. This means you could slow down your footage to 1/5 of its normal speed and it would still look smooth. One of the hardest things about shooting video is keeping the camera steady. Shaky footage can make even the best video look amateurish. That's where in-body image stabilization, or IBIS, comes in. The S5R is expected to have very good IBIS. This technology helps keep your image steady even if your hands shake a little. It's like having a tiny gimbal built into your camera. This means you can get smooth, professional-looking shots without needing extra equipment. Now, let's talk about the dynamic range of this rumoured camera. The S5R is rumoured to have 16 stops of dynamic range in its full-frame 4K mode. This is really useful in many situations. If you're filming outside on a sunny day, you'd be able to see detail in both the bright sky and the shadowy areas. Or if you're shooting a scene with both indoor and outdoor areas, you wouldn't have to choose between exposing one or the other. You could capture both well. Having this much dynamic range also gives you more flexibility when you're editing your footage. You can adjust the brightness and contrast of your image without it starting to look unnatural. This is really valuable for creating high-quality, professional-looking videos. Of course, one of the big questions about the S5R is how much it will cost and when you can buy it. While we don't have exact figures yet, we can make some guesses based on Panasonic's other cameras. The S5R is likely to be more expensive than the current S5, but probably not as expensive as the top-of-the-line S1H. This would put it somewhere in the middle of Panasonic's full-frame camera lineup. As for when you might be able to get your hands on an S5R, that's a bit harder to predict. Panasonic often announces new cameras in the fall and then releases them in the winter or early spring. However, keep in mind that there have been a lot of challenges in manufacturing and shipping electronics lately. This could affect when the S5R actually arrives in stores. For creators seeking an all-in-one device that excels at both video and photography, this camera seems poised to bridge that gap in a way few others have managed. Its rumoured 8K video capabilities alone suggest a device that isn't just keeping up with current trends, but is prepared to set new ones. With the flexibility to shoot in multiple resolutions and frame rates, the S5R might just make high-resolution filmmaking more accessible to content creators who previously couldn't afford professional-level cameras. The S5R's anticipated codec options and impressive dynamic range further bolster its appeal to serious videographers. For those who enjoy diving deep into color grading and post-production, the S5R seems ready to provide more creative freedom with a fuller range of color and lighting information than its predecessors. Meanwhile, its rumored high frame rate capabilities are thrilling news for anyone looking to incorporate slow-motion footage into their projects without sacrificing quality. These features are typically reserved for high-end cinema cameras, yet Panasonic seems prepared to bring them into a more compact, user-friendly package. Panasonic's rumoured improvements to in-body image stabilization will likely make handheld shooting easier and smoother for a wider audience. This kind of innovation isn't just about reducing camera shake, it's about opening up new creative possibilities. With IBIS, content creators can capture footage with a level of polish that previously required additional, often expensive, stabilizing equipment. The ability to stabilize 4K footage so seamlessly could make the S5R a go-to camera for run-and-gun shooters, travel vloggers, and documentarians who need both portability and professional results. Dynamic range is another standout feature of the S5R, which, if it lives up to the rumoured 16 stops, could offer exceptional performance in challenging lighting conditions. This would give creators the confidence to shoot in a wider variety of environments without worrying about sacrificing quality in post-production. By capturing a broader range of highlights and shadows, the S5R could help filmmakers achieve richer, more cinematic visuals. For those producing high-contrast scenes, such as outdoor landscapes or dramatic indoor-outdoor transitions, the rumoured dynamic range would mean fewer compromises in image quality. Lastly, the S5R's price and availability will determine whether it truly becomes a mainstay for content creators. If Panasonic can position it competitively in their lineup, offering high-end specs without an ultra-premium price, this camera could attract professionals and advanced hobbyists alike. However, supply chain challenges and global demand might affect its release schedule, so potential buyers may need to stay patient. In sum, if the Panasonic S5R delivers on even a fraction of the rumours circulating, it could redefine the expectations for a hybrid camera. With a rumoured feature set aimed at both professional videographers and high-end content creators, the S5R promises to be a versatile tool for storytellers pushing the limits of what's possible on a budget. Whether you're producing YouTube content, capturing cinematic footage, or exploring creative photography, the S5R could become a powerful asset. We're excited to see how Panasonic officially unveils this model and what it could mean for the future of hybrid cameras. Keep an eye out, this might just be a camera that raises the bar for the entire industry. So, that's all about the Panasonic S5R. Do let us know what you think about this camera. As for everything else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.